Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ella Johnson Show. Listen, can you tell how excited I am? It's been a minute, right? It has been a minute. It has been a minute, but I have missed you guys. And I know I came back and you weren't expecting me on Saturday, but this is going to be my new night, Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern, because I figure I could catch you guys at home, right? Or at least on your way out. Anyway. But I am so excited. I am so grateful to you guys for showing your patience with me. And I really want to give a very special I love you to all of you that were really there for me when my mom passed. Your support, your love, your calls. And some of you are still reaching out to me today. So I really, really am grateful. I want to give a shout out to my brother, Mr. Pastor, Reverend Minister Terry Johnson, who just got his first church, Amity, over in Tunnel Springs, Amity Missionary Baptist Church. And guess what? He's hired me to be his associate pastor. Lies. See, look at that. I was just trying to make sure you guys were watching and listening, right? Y'all know I'm not getting ready to be an associate pastor. Nobody's church. But anyway, I'll just do this for right now. But I am so excited that you guys have tuned in to the Ella Johnson Show tonight. I promise you, we have a great show planned for you. These ladies that are sitting here. I have Miss American Idol. She left American Idol stage and came to the Ella Johnson Show. Well, not literally, but sounds good, right? And then we have Miss Sandra. She's in the building. Guys, her story, her life, her journey, her truth, it is epic tonight. And that's why we had to title this In Too Deep. And then her beautiful daughter, Jasmine, is here for moral support and to talk to you about what she witnessed watching her mom go through. Listen, guys, I am very excited. And I know you guys are going to say, well, Ella, you should have just started with that. We're going to give away $25 tonight. Now, I know that's not going to pay the light bill or anything, but it might put a little gas in your car. But listen, we're going to have some fun because Nia is going to sing tonight. And we're going to see who can guess those snippets of those songs. And whoever can guess the most songs will win $25. But now you have to stay. You can't get the money and run. It doesn't work like that on the Ella Johnson Show, right? Y'all know how we do. But no, we are going to stay here tonight, support these women. We have a wonderful broadcast. From time to time, you guys might see me put these glasses on because these eyes aren't what they used to. Right, Sandra? Same here. You know how we try to be cute, but baby, I can't see. Okay? I can't see. This is, I am getting older, so sometimes I might have to throw these on. But guys, we're going to have fun tonight because you know what? Our stories, that what we've gone through, they have to be a blessing to people. And that's what we thrive to do here at the Ella Johnson Show. We want to make sure that you don't leave the same way you came, right? So guys, listen, we're going to jump into it, but I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to go and share this broadcast right now. Just hit the share button. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you so much. All you have to do is hit that share button. And if you're watching on YouTube, since you're already there, you might as well go ahead and subscribe to my channel, right? So I want you to share, guys. Don't miss out and leave people out. There are people on your page that need to be encouraged tonight. So while you do that, we're going to take this short break. And after this video is done, we'll be right back and you'll get to meet my beautiful guest. We'll be right back. It's time for the Ella Johnson Show. I'm so excited that you've taken time out to tune in to the Ella Johnson Show. I hope you enjoy the broadcast. So sit back, relax, and I'll see you at the end of the show. You know, one day someone asked me, "Oh, what is so special about doing talk shows? Like, why do you do it?" I said, because I love for people to see that God is using them. Because things don't happen to you. They actually happen through you. And now it's time for the Ella Johnson Show, where we set the table for real talk conversations. So hit that share button and invite your family and friends to watch the Ella Johnson Show. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, we are back. One thing I forgot to tell you guys, the glasses, they had to come on, right? But listen, I forgot to tell you guys, I want you to leave comments, because when we play our game, you need to leave comments. And this is what's going to happen. As soon as you leave a comment, it's going to show here on the screen so that all of my guests are able to see your comments, right? That's my ex-husband right there. Just thought I'd put it on out there. We're transparent. We keep it real, right, Sandra?
Absolutely.
But anyway, I want to make sure that you guys know that we appreciate you. I see you, Paul. And thank you so much, Paul. I see you, Joyce. Yes, Miss Joyce Watson is in the building. But I want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable leaving your comments, because they will show up on the screen here. So make sure if you need to do a spell check, I'm just saying, because if you misspell a word, everybody's going to know, right? And you can't blame me. It's live. But I want you guys to meet my beautiful guest here. I have Miss Sandra Johnson-Carter. I have been trying to get her on the Ella Johnson Show for the longest, right? She is just too busy for a sister. But I said, no, you're going to have to get in. When I do my comeback, you need to be on the first show. And she says, I got you, baby. I got you. She was born in Guyana, South America, guys, but she was raised and schooled in London, England. I was just telling her right before the broadcast, I said, I got to go to London. I need to meet one of those British men, because I got catfished by one, right? Y'all don't laugh, because some of y'all have been catfished too. Let's just keep it real. But I was catfished. So I want to meet a Brit for real. But anyway, she is the founder of the PFC Carter Jr. Foundation. She has been a champion at Capitol Hill, where they are changing roads in her city. She spoke at the House of Senate in Tennessee. She is a member of the NAACP. She's also a member of the NCNW, which is the National Council for Negro Women. She is on the Chamber of Commerce. She sits on the board of Brothers Keepers. She's a member of the Indiana chapter of Rahab's Daughter. She's a mother of 5, right? Ooh, that's a whole lot right there. Right now, she lives in Gary, Indiana. Welcome, Miss Beautiful Afro Queen, Sandra Johnson-Carter, to the Ella Johnson Show.
Thank you. It's an honor to be on the show.
Don't you love her accent? Like, it's so, I'll pick it up in like a good way, right? And then her beautiful daughter, Jasmine Powell, is here to show her mom love and support. Welcome, to the Ella Johnson Show, Jasmine.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are so well. Doesn't she have like the same smile as her mom? Beautiful, beautiful young lady. And
Thank you.
then Miss American Idol favorite sitting over here. Guys, do you know she is just 19 years old? This girl is she's an old, you know how they say, Sandra, those people, she has been here
Yes.
before. She
Yes.
has been here before, right? This girl
Absolutely.
has soul like I have never seen it, like reborn. But she's just 19 years old and she's already been on American Idol. Guys, do you know she finished in the top 40 on
Wow.
American Idol? And in her honor today, we're going to have an American Idol trivia and then we're going to have that name that tune with Nia. But with that one, you're going to get $25. Now, we're not giving $25 both times, right? We just jump it all together. All right. But she was invited to sing the national anthem in Washington, D.C. And we have that video for you tonight. So you're going to get to see that as well. Her new single will be released May 19th. And the title of it is Friday Night. Now, I was just telling me, I said, I can give you some pointers on what kind of stuff go down on Friday night, right?
Congratulations.
She was like, no, I got it all. I appreciate it though, But she's also going to be performing in McKinney, Texas, April 21st. And that's going to be my chance to finally get a chance to meet her because my friends, Jean and Shannon, they're having the unscripted all white affair behind closed doors. Ooh, I'm ready for it. I am so ready for it. But I'll get a chance to meet her. She's going to be performing live there. Welcome to the Ella Johnson Show, Miss Nia Renee.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I'm so excited to have you. Isn't she just beautiful?
Yes,
I
she
just
is.
love Black beauty, man. I just love it. I like all kind of beauty, but tonight is Black beauty, right? Well, welcome all of you to the Ella Johnson Show. I am so excited to have you here. And we're gonna dig in because I want to know everything. If you're shy, you won't be after this show because we're gonna dig right in. Now, Nia grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas. Nia, tell us what is there to do in Little Rock, Arkansas? Tell us about what's going on over there.
Well, Arkansas in general is very beautiful. It's known as a natural state, so that's always a plus. But being here, I've had a lot of opportunities to grow as an artist because there are a lot of events to go on and they always need artists. So I've been lucky just to be able to perform around the state and be able to give back to the community with my voice by volunteering at events, but also just having a chance to be able to share my gift all over the state and to be so young and be able to have so many big opportunities throughout the state. It's been truly amazing. I can truly say that I love my state.
I definitely can understand that. How long have you been singing, Nia? When did you start?
Well, according to my mother, I started when I was 18 months in the backseat of the car singing We Belong Together by Mariah Carey.
18 months?
And then from there, I've been, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, mama knows. Wow. So when you were growing up, does your mom sing as well?
Yes. My mom's side of the family is really big on music. They either play an instrument or they sing. So one or the other.
See, I knew it was coming from somewhere. What kind of stuff what's your favorite genre of music?
Ooh, that's hard because I really like everything. But it would be between R&B and classical. Those two just
wow.
number one.
Y'all, guess what I learned the other night? She sings opera.
Wow.
Girl, that would be a comical moment if I ever tried to attempt even one note. I wouldn't even be able to get off the bottom floor, Sandra, right? This girl, I heard her sing it, and I was, you know how when you hear people sing and you're rooting for them, you like, hit that note, baby. Hit that note, baby. Hit it for us.
Yeah.
She hit every note. She is amazing. You are amazing, Nia. Amazing artist you are. Yeah. Who's your favorite? Who do you like to listen to?
Oh, a lot. But I would say probably like my top three would be Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, and Mahalia Jackson.
Wow.
Mahalia Jackson, really? Now that's impressive. Have you guys seen her movie? I think it's on Tubi or BET. I'm not sure. Have you seen her movie, Nia? Mahalia Jackson's story?
Of it. I haven't been able to see all of it.
Powerful. You know what I loved about her? And I told you the other night, Nia, when I was talking to you, I said, there's something about you, young lady. She didn't compromise her values for a squat. Mahalia didn't. She knew that she was singing God, and she never compromised.
Wow.
She never compromised. Her story is amazing. So for you to say that you like, and Whitney is my favorite, by the way. What's your favorite Whitney song?
Ooh, it'll probably be "I Will Always Love You" because I love singing it. So.
Yeah. You know, a song that didn't, I don't know how popular it got, but the song, I Didn't Know My Own Strength. Do you know that song that Whitney sings? That is amazing. You guys, yes? You've never, have you heard it, Jasmine? I Didn't Know My Own Strength.
No.
Oh, y'all, oh baby, y'all are missing out. That song is gonna give you life. Y'all need to look it up today. I Didn't Know My Own Strength. It didn't.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is a very beautiful song. Listen, I love Whitney, crackhead or not. That's my girl. I love her. I love Whitney.
Was it one of the songs that she sang when she was in
Covering
her album?
I don't know if it's in the last album, but it's after she was doing a comeback.
Right.
And she sang it on Oprah Winfrey show.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I love the song.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's
It's
beautiful.
very touching.
I love Whitney Houston. So, and you know what, guys, we're gonna show you Nia's audition at the American Idol. What was the title of that song? What's the name of the song that you sang?
"Chain of Fools" by Aretha Franklin.
Chain of Fools. Ooh, I think Fantasia sang that. Fantasia sang that as well during American Idol. So I want to get in your business and talk about the American Idol because you know we watch it, but we don't really know what's going on, right? On American Idol. How did you hear about it? American Idol.
Well, I mean, growing up, I always saw it on TV. My family always talked about it. And then, like, the more I got older and got to perform more, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you should go on American Idol." And I was just like, well, yeah, I'll try it.
Okay. Now, you know how you got some haters out there. Did you ever say crackhead or not? Well, you know, I'm just saying, TD. I mean, you know, I love her. But so when you heard about it, what did you think about, like, as far as like your chances? Was it hard to get an audition, or do you just show up, or what's the criteria for trying to get on American Idol?
Well, they have started doing virtual auditions since the pandemic. So that's when I started doing it. And it was very easy because you got to do it within your own home. So you got to feel comfortable, you know, you got to stand in your favorite place, wherever you feel the best at, and just sing. So that made it feel way easier to handle instead of going somewhere and standing in front of a group of people and having to just sing on the spot.
Oh yeah, I would have passed out. Hands down. 100% I would have passed out. And you weren't scared. You weren't afraid, right?
I was a little nervous, but
did the judges
feel pretty comfortable?
Did the judges make you feel comfortable? Really?
They did.
How was Lionel Richie? Was Lionel Richie like what we see on TV? Like, he's very outgoing and friendly. Was he like that in real life?
He is so sweet. He just, like, he always gives hugs on the show, and his personality just makes you want to hug him. So it's just like, it just all goes together.
Aw, what a great experience. Now, you know, just like with anything in life, right, ladies, we have some haters. We have people that, girl, they're not going to pick you. Did you get that type of feedback from people when you told them that you were auditioning and going through the American Idol process?
No, not that I can remember, you know. It was a very positive experience for me, from people around me to people on social media. So all I remember really was the positive comments, because everybody was always telling me I should do it anyways. So it was pretty much just the same people that told me I should do it. We're like, oh, well, look at that. You're doing it.
You know what? I want to see more of you on television because I love the way you interact with people. The world needs more of that. Yeah. The world, right, ladies? The world needs more of that because you're such a genuine soul, and people around you will change no matter what you're telling them. I told her, I said, girl, you could sing the ABCs to me and I'd probably listen. Right? Now, if you can sing them backwards, that's even more of a challenge. I'm just saying. But she just has a beautiful soul. Now, you have your song coming out May 19th, your first release. That's got to be exciting. Tell us about Friday night. What are you talking about on Friday night?
Oh, Friday night, it's really like a chill song, something that you can vibe to. And it's just about a girl that sees a guy and, she's been kind of messing with him on the low, but like now she's kind of like, well, I kind of like you a little more, like I feel like we should be official, instead of just like talking and being more behind closed doors. It's kind of like, well, maybe we should just make it official, be a couple.
Okay. And what are they doing on Friday night? Just chilling, walking hands.
They're out at a party, and it's like
they're at a party.
It's kind of like when you're at a party and you see somebody that you really like, and they're just kind of like off doing their thing. You're like, well, I wish you'd be over here with me, so we could do something. But it's like, just like a party scene where you just want to
I don't know
the person that you like.
Because if I see somebody, I'm like, they're not going to be standing there by themselves for long. I'm just saying. I'm just bold like that, right?
Yeah.
But people these days, like, but I mean, I just think that's beautiful because you're so young and you're singing about such a topic like that. And I think that's really cool. Now tell us about the people that brought you in, and because I know Steven is your booking agent, and he just speaks very highly of you, and so does Shannon. I can't wait to meet you in Texas. But tell us about all the people that you have around you and why it's important to have positivity around you.
Well, I would say the people around me are really my support team, my family, and my close friends, and they're always so kind and so supportive because, being an artist or trying to break into an industry that is very hard to get into can be very stressful. And a lot of times you feel like giving up, but when you have a good support team around you, they always encourage you to just keep pushing, keep God first, keep praying, just stay faithful and just believe that you can do it. So,
how hard or how easy is it to keep God first? Because, in an industry that's always compromising, it's easy to say, well, you know what? I really want to make it. I'll just bend a little bit and then bend a little bit more. Before you know it, you're bent over, right? So how easy or how do you manage that as far as saying, you know what? I'm not compromising my values no matter what. How do you stay on that path?
I would just say my parents.
Yeah.
They're always keeping me in church, always making sure I read the Bible, pray every night. And it's just a consistent, reminder and push to be able to stay close to God and never steer away. That's how I really manage it.
Wow. Now, have you guys all noticed that in the music has changed? Okay. Fortunately for me, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm an old school soul. Okay. I still listen to Dougie Fresh. I still listen to that kind of music. I'm sorry. If you go to my playlist, it's nothing current. And it's because I can relate to it. It's relatable to me. Right. So what kind of music do you, I know that this is your time and your age, and I see that you like Aretha Franklin. So is that the era you like, or do you really like the music now?
I would say I'm a mix of both.
Yeah.
With my parents, I always listen to a lot of older music, which I have grown to love since I was younger because that's what I was surrounded by. But also, I'm also in college. So being in college has really evolved me into listening to new day music because, that's what everybody's playing. So
what are you studying? What are you studying in school?
I study vocal performance, which is classical.
Wow. You are just so interesting, right? Like I could just sit here and talk to you like all night. But listen, I want to definitely make sure that everybody has equal time. So we are going to start listening to your vocals. I want to play this game. Now, if you just tuned into the Ella Johnson Show, we're going to give away some money today. But you're not going to know until the end of the show. No, we're not going to have the game and then give you a little $25 and all that. No, you have to be at the end. And then I'm going to send you a cash out with $25 to the person who wins this trivia. Now, because you are on American Idol, I'm going to see how many people watching this broadcast. Let me just see what kind of folks, see what we're working with, right? Okay, so I'm not sure if the people that are watching this broadcast are familiar with the American Idol. So we're going to still play the game. We got a trivia. At least the people on the show, Jasmine and Sandra, maybe one of you guys will win. Who knows? But we're going to play this game. I'm going to see what y'all, Listen, I'm just going to be 100 with you. I wouldn't know the answers either. The only reason I know is because I'm coming up with the questions. Right?
Absolutely.
But I want to know how many people know this is American Idol, because if you just tuned in, I just want to let you know that Miss Nia Renee that's here with us today, she was on the American Idol. She ended up being in the top 40 in year 2019, and at that time she was only 17, right, Nia, and she's now 19 years old. What an accomplishment, right, to make it that far. But she didn't stop there, and she's here on the Ella Johnson Show. She's going to be in McKinney, Texas, April 21st, and she is doing her thing. She's saying the national anthem, and we're going to show that for you here in a minute. But right now we're going to have an American Idol trivia, right? The first question, y'all ready? Are you guys out there ready? Get ready to start making comments, because if y'all want $25, that might get you a half a tank. Well, but gas is pretty good right now, so you might be all right. The first question: what American Idol winner makes the most money? Ding ding. Okay, we're gonna count it down. 10 seconds. Wrong. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep guessing. 5.
I can't
4.
think of
Kelly Clarkson. Wrong. That's wrong, TD. 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna give you guys hints. Okay. Hello. Let me give hints. Country music.
Oh.
Country
Can I
music.
guess? I'm not even sure. Can I play?
Absolutely. You can guess.
Is
Absolutely.
it Carrie Underwood?
Answer. That is correct. Carrie Underwood. Looks like TD said it also. So TD, I'm gonna give you that one since Nia is on the show. Now, did you? Now, wait a minute. Now, you didn't say that after she did. No, he said it before she did. Carrie Underwood. Yes, she is the American Idol winner that makes the most money. Second question: name at least 2 people that were on American Idol that are artists who made $500,000 or more in sales. At least 2. Give me 2 names.
Fantasia.
That is correct.
And
wait a minute now. I had it first. Yes, you won that one, TD. You won that one. I give you that one. That's one. Fantasia. You guys think long and hard now. Remember, the beginning of the season for American Idol, those were the best.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So obviously the answer is people that were in that one.
Wow.
Jennifer Hudson. That's not on the list, actually.
I was gonna say Jennifer Hudson. She got the TV show now too.
Yeah, she's not on the list though.
Really?
Kelly Clarkson?
Kelly Clarkson, yes, that's the other one. So Kelly Clarkson, Chris Daughtry, Fantasia, Ruben Studdard, Clay Aiken, and Kelly Pickler. Yeah, those are some of the people that were there. Y'all, this is interesting, right? This is fun. I got 2 more questions. I'm not sure who we're gonna let win this thing though, because everybody's throwing answers. Okay, yeah, y'all can throw the answers now that everybody's saying them. Hello, somebody. Everybody's coming up with the answers now, baby. We said it 5 minutes ago. All right. Who is the most successful American Idol non-winner? Come on, Jasmine, you got this one.
Jennifer Hudson.
That is correct. That is correct. Jennifer Hudson, you won that one. She is the most successful non-winner. Isn't that something?
Wow.
Dreamgirls,
Yeah.
right off the bat. Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
One
And
more.
she has her talk show now.
And she has a talk show. I'm jealous of that, but I ain't hating. I'm just ready for my turn. That's all. Who is the youngest American Idol winner? The youngest. Season 6. The youngest. Come on, Nia. You gotta know this one, baby girl. The youngest American Idol winner. 5, 4. Come on, Jasmine. 3, 2. Jordan Sparks, guys.
Oh, I forgot that's where she came from.
Jordan Sparks. She was season 6, and she was 17 at the time, guys. What? That's what I'm talking about. Now, I wanted to ask you something, and I want everybody to give your input on this. It's the Ella Johnson Show. It's Real Talk TV, so it's okay to answer this. right now we see Candy Burris and we see Tamar fighting in the media. What do you feel when you see that, Nia? Because this is an industry that you're breaking into. You see all this foolishness going on around you. How do you stay away from it? Do you ever comment? Do you act like you don't see it? Because you don't want to ever put your name in something and then now you're all tied up. But as an artist breaking into the music industry, when you see that, how do you respond to it, and how does it affect you, if at all?
Well, I'm always big on putting positivity out and just trying to help bring more peace to the world, because there's already so much going on across the world. I mean, and there's just so much negativity consistently happening on social media, on the news, and a lot of different outlets that we use on a daily basis. So I just always try to just share positivity and love on my social media and just hope that it reaches people that need it.
I'm going to tell you this, Nia. If you maintain the value, no matter what stage you're on, no matter who you're in front of, if you maintain that, you're going to go as far as you want. Because I'm telling you, in this day and time, integrity wins. Absolutely. And I like that you were able to speak on that without feeling some kind of way. Like if Candy and Tamar are in front of you right now, you would say, ladies, come on. Let's chill, right? You're both beautiful. You're both talented. That's what I would say, right? I would just tell them to chill, because you're right. I love your answer, right? I'm telling you, this girl's an old soul. She's been here before.
Absolutely.
He says, now, Nia, you're from Little Rock. You know how to snatch a wig or two. What? No, he did. He said, you're from Little Rock. You know how to snatch a wig or two, okay?
That'd be.
I don't think so. Listen, I'm telling you, I don't fight, right? But if I ever got in a fight, they would have to get my wig first. They'll have to catch me first. I just don't believe in fighting. That's just not my thing. I'm all about. Oh, somebody. Oh, okay. I'm a girl. I'm a gal. Okay, I missed that. But anyway, guys, so that was fun. That was fun. Now, are you ready to sing, Nia? Give us some 3 tunes. All right. Do you know your songs that you're gonna do?
Yes, ma'am.
You do? All right, guys. Now, this is where the $25 comes in. For those of you that just tuned in, we are giving away $25 here on this Comeback Ella Johnson show for today. You have to guess, whoever guesses the most correct songs that Nia sings is going to win $25 today. I'm going to send you a cash app courtesy of the Ella Johnson show. So she's going to sing her first tune, and then we're going to all guess. This is everybody's game on this one, even my guests. You guys can win on this one as well, okay? All right, you ready for the first one, Nia? It's all you, baby.
It brings big tears into my eyes when I began to realize that I've cried so much, oh, since you've been gone. And I gotta stop, because then it gives away the title.
That was beautiful.
Oh wow. I didn't want it to stop, right? I was like, who cares about the game? Just keep singing, girl. I have no idea. Because if it's not Dougie Fresh, I'm lost. Or Luther or Whitney. Okay, so since you've been gone. Do
you know it?
Do you know it, Jasmine? All right, guess. I need y'all to talk to me. Who knows the name of that song?
Do you know it, Jazz?
I have no idea. Oh man, I've been exposed. Nobody's guessing. He said, whatever song that is, you sang down. Yeah, did she? Ooh. That's what I was saying. I was like, girl, just keep singing. Who cares about the game? Okay, so give it to us. What song is it?
It's "Drowning My Own Tears" by Aretha Franklin,
Wow.
which is my favorite song by Aretha Franklin.
Okay. All right. Well, you got us on that one. Song number 2. Looks like we might be keeping that $25 today.
I don't know. I think you got this song.
All right, let's go with the second one.
There's a boy I know. He's the one I dream of. Listen to my eyes. Takes me to the clouds above. Oh, I lose control. Can't seem to get enough. When I wake from dreaming, tell me, is it really love?
Who doesn't know that one? How will I know? Thank you, TD. TD got that one. Oh, girl, that was beautiful. You know what I love? It's like you're not trying to sound like them. You got your own sound, right?
Absolutely.
Right, Jasmine? She has her own sound. I see why you made it through American Idol, because they like that sort of thing. You made it your own. I love that. How will I know? Whitney Houston. Okay, TD, looks like you are winning. All right, and for the last and final song, let's do it.
Okay. I heard church bells ringing. I heard a choir singing.
I know Joyce Watson knows this one.
I saw my love walk down the aisle on her finger. He placed the ring. Oh, I saw them holding hands. She was standing there with my man. I heard the promise.
Yes, it is.
Till death do us part. Each word was a pain in my heart.
Oh my God.
That was beautiful.
That was so good.
That was beautiful.
So good.
I am never speechless. But girl, you just shut my mouth.
Mhm.
That was, ooh, I got chills. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
I think
Who
Joyce
won?
got that. I think Joyce got
Joyce
that.
got that one. Okay.
Yes, you did.
Okay. So Joyce, it looks like Joyce has one and TD has one.
We need a tiebreaker.
We need a tiebreaker. Oh, God, I got chills.
Mm.
Sing, make it hard. Nia, give them something they're not ready for. All right, this is for the tiebreaker. TD and Joyce, one of you will win $25 here on the Ella Johnson Show as Nia comes up with that song that's gonna break the tie. I know, TD. I'm sorry, baby, but you know, all's fair in love and war.
Let's see.
19 years old. Can you believe this?
Beautiful.
This girl, what? I love it.
All right, I think I got one. I don't know if
You
it's gonna
got
be
one.
hard, but it might be. You're no good, heartbreaker. You're a liar and you're a cheat. And I don't know why I let you do these things to me. My friends keep telling me that you ain't no good. Oh, but they don't know that I'd leave you if I could. I guess I'm uptight and I'm stuck like glue. Well, I can't say the next part because this is the title.
Okay, so we know Okay, who's got it? Who got it? You're no good. Is that it?
No.
That's the name. That's not the name of the song. Okay, TD, you tried it. I know you tried it. I ain't never loved a man. Is that it?
Yes, that's the song.
Joyce.
I ain't never loved a man. Okay, Joyce. Joyce is our winner today. $25. Yay! So Joyce, you can send me your Cash App here, or you can just send it to me on Facebook, however you want to do it, and you will win $25 today. Coming to you. That was fun, right?
Yeah.
But Joyce says, "Can you sing a church song? What type of church song? How much time do we have left?" Girl, listen, we are enjoying this. This is like we're gonna have to bring you back for a concert, like for real. Corey says, "You know what? I gotta show y'all the comments." He is saying all great. He says, "Amazing. Thank you." Is that Corey or Corey? Thank you. Congratulations, Joyce. Yes, we all say congratulations, Joyce, for winning the $25. What's your favorite gospel song, Nia, that gets you through? Everybody has that song that they're just like, you know what? Every time I hear this, I can block out all the foolishness. What's yours?
I would say singing it wise, it would be Precious Lord.
Ooh. Oh, now you're gonna make me cry. Okay, I want you to do me a favor. Just 20 seconds, Precious Lord, for us here on the Ella Johnson Show. Because listen, this is why I want this, because there comes a time in life, guys, and that's the reason I wanted to come back and do these shows. We have to find a way to encourage each other and be there for each other, because this world is getting ugly.
Absolutely.
The enemy is running out of time. So he's trying and he's coming with everything he has. And you don't have a relationship with God, you will not survive. Okay.
Absolutely.
So this is our way of telling you and encouraging you to call. So just give us a little bit of that, Nia, for the people that are watching this broadcast.
Precious Lord, take my hand, please lead me on, and let me stand. I'm tired. I am weak, and I am worn through the storms, through the night. I went over 20 seconds.
Beautiful.
Girl, we don't care about that 20 seconds.
And you know what though? My daughter can sing too.
No.
I mean, she probably
No, I cannot.
not as beautiful as
No.
that.
That
But
is
she's like,
that
what?
is
Girl,
a lovely
oh my
church.
God.
She's amazing.
Absolutely not.
She's amazing. I have to see you.
I can sing real good in the shower. That's about it.
Nia, that was just.
I have to see you in concert.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speechless. That was beautiful.
You.
Yes, it was.
And that is absolutely one of my favorite songs ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is the only one that can understand us. He is the only one that knows how to. He's like the manufacturer. You know, when you drive a certain car, like I drive the car I drive, I'm not going to go to a certain dealership because they don't understand how it works or how it's supposed to work. But God understands how we're made, how we're supposed to work. He is the manufacturer of us.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you want something fixed, you got to always go to the manufacturer. And if you don't remember anything else from this broadcast, just remember, when you are broken down, you got to go to the one that created you.
Absolutely.
Not these shade tree mechanics. That's why my BMW is gone today, because I couldn't afford to take it to the real people. I had to take it to Shade Tree Mechanics. And that BMW was like, fool, if you can't afford to fix me, you need to take me back, right? But you know what? It never got fixed because I never took it to the one that created it.
Amen.
So whenever you are going through something, nobody knows you like the one that made you.
Amen.
That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nia, I want you to give advice to the young people that are watching this broadcast that say, you know what, I want to be like her. I want to go to American Idol. What kind of challenges might I face? What is it about American Idol that may or may not be easy? Or should they just disregard all of that and go for it? What advice would you give to the young people or anybody that's older watching this broadcast that wants to break into this industry?
I would always say just go for it. I mean, you never know what the outcome may be or what may work for you or what may not work for you. You'll never know until you try. So I'm always a big advocate for just stepping out of your comfort zone and just taking a shot at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. Oh, that is amazing. So what's next after your CD, after your song releases Friday night May 19th? What's next for you? What do you have going on right now?
Well, I am competing in the Miss Arkansas competition, June 3rd through the 10th. Compete in competitions, and I am currently Miss Greater Jacksonville, so I'll be going for that. But also, I have an EP coming out very soon, and I'll just be promoting that and just working on growing my own music and writing my own and being able to put out into the world what I believe represents me the best.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, guys, you remember I told you that I was going to show you Miss Nia singing the national anthem. Here it is. In a second. Here it is.
Standing as we honor our country, the performance of the Star Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, to Nia Kelly.
I don't really get stage fright. It's like I get a little nervous, but not like over dramatically nervous. I was asked to sing a song that touched my soul, so I sung "At Last" by Etta James. And everybody started coming around me. It was like, "Oh, you sound really good," and all that. I've been really anxious, and I just been really hype about it.
Thank you.
It's the best rendition of the national anthem I've heard.
I feel awesome. Like the field is beautiful, and my sound check is really good. So I'm just excited and ready to do it.
Wow. How did that feel, Nia? Oh my God, I got chills. Am I the only one that's chilling up here?
It's beautiful.
I love that song when I hear it sang that way.
Mhm.
Like when we were in school, I didn't like it. I didn't even want to sing it. I was just gonna be honest with you because I didn't relate to it. But when I see you singing it, it gives a different meaning to me.
Absolutely.
That was beautiful. How did that? I mean, you know what I like? I like that you keep it real. You keep it humble, right? You're like, yeah, this really feels great, but I'm gonna keep it real. And who do you credit this to? All of the success that you're having, who do you credit it to?
Oh, I credit to God. Absolutely. He gave me the gift, and every opportunity that I've had has come from him. So I give all the credit to the Lord.
So how do you feel about those people? You know how people love to get all sanctimonious and say things like, well, if God is the one that gave you the gifts, why are you singing R&B? How do you feel about that when people say that? It's a gift. Who cares? Right? What you're singing.
Right. Well, there are different genres put on the earth for a reason by the Lord. So, I just feel that whichever one you feel that you fit best with, that's the one that you go with.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep it real here. Okay, I believe God likes Luther. I believe even Jesus listened to Luther Vandross. Okay, I'm just because it's beautiful. It's good, clean music, right? God loves love. He loves sex. He created it, right? So I mean, that's something that gets us in the mood. But anyway, that's a totally different show. So Nia, where can everybody find your music? Where do we go to find your music?
Well, you can find me on social media at official Nia Renee on Instagram and Facebook. And then I have a YouTube channel where I do a lot of covers and will also be sharing my music there. And that is Nia Renee, NIARENEE. And then I have a Twitter, which is Nia Renee Music. So all those, official Nia Renee, and Nia Renee.
So do me a favor. Now that we're going to start talking to Sandra, I want you to do me a favor and type that into the broadcast so that people can actually click on it. And you guys go out and support this young lady. She is doing amazing. What kind of support do you need right now, Nia, as far as like, do you want people to can they buy your songs on iTunes and all that? Or can we purchase? Can we download?
Well, when my single comes out in May, you'll be able to stream it on all streaming platforms. So Apple Music, YouTube, iTunes, everything. It'll be on Google Play. Any way that you stream music, it'll be on there. So I just really need people to stream it.
Y'all heard it. She needs you to stream. Congratulations. That is amazing. And what about the video? Now, when you're ready to do the video, I'm available. I'm just saying.
Okay.
She's doing the Friday night video. I love it. Congratulations to you, Nia. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person in Texas next month. Again, that is the unscripted, and all white affair behind closed doors. Now, anybody can come to this event, right? So all you guys have to do is I'm getting ready to, I'll have this on my page in the days where you can actually go and purchase a ticket. Plane can get you there. Plane, trains, automobiles, right? So however you get to be there, I'll be there. Nia's going to be there. Even Sandra might come over, right? I mean, you and I talked about it. She might join us, but anybody can come and you're going to hear some good music. That what you just heard tonight on the Ella Johnson show, that's going to be there, right? So I'm just saying, well, thank you so much. I want you to stick around, Nia, because Nia has a surprise for you Miss Sandra at the end of the broadcast.
Thank you.
Right? So she's gonna stick around. Now listen, I know Miss Jasmine has to get out of here, but guys, we're gonna jump into Sandra's story, because one thing I want you guys to understand, all of us have been through some stuff. This is where the show takes a different turn and it gets real. All of us have been through things. We've all hurt, but I want you guys, I want to, this show is about keeping you encouraged. And those of you that know anything about the Bible, you know this story. You know about Joseph. We all know that Joseph ended up in a pit, but it took that pit to get him to his palace. And in our lives, we all go through pain, but our pain also helps us find our purpose. I'm willing to even believe that God brings on the pain so that you can get to your purpose. Because sometimes some of us wouldn't pray if we didn't go through something. I'm just being real. And sometimes we're not led, and pain will get you there quicker than anything. So we're going to talk about Sandra's story. She's going to take us through it, guys. And it is a brave soul that can come on this broadcast and bear their soul out here to everybody and tell their story, because she has been through it. So I, first of all, want to say thank you, Sandra, for coming on the show and willing to share that. And I also want, this is that moment where I need my glasses. There's no telling what I might put up here on the screen. So I want you guys to know, before we get into her story, this show tonight is dedicated to this young man right here. Okay, this is Sandra's son, and she lost her son. He's a Marine, and Michael Carter, PFC, Michael Carter. And this show tonight is dedicated to him and his memory. So I just want to say that, because that's her heart. And that's what this show is all about, right? So like I told you guys, she's from Guyana, South America, but she was raised and schooled in London, England, right? So that's that right there in itself. You're very well traveled, and I like that. You and I've talked a lot over the last week about where you've been and all the different places. I couldn't keep up with all the countries she's been to. But tell us a little bit about being in Guyana. I mean, what do you remember? I know you were very young when you were born there. What do you remember?
I would first of all just like to say thank you for having me on this show, and to say that I did a lot of praying prior to coming on the show, because I know that some of the things that I'm going to talk about may cause judgment, but this is me, this is my story, this is my truth. So the question was, what do I remember about South America? I was born in Guyana, South America, May 5th, 1963. So the number 5 is the number of grace, I do believe. So 5-5. I remember being a baby, and I in my mind, I remember being maybe 6 months old, or maybe 9 months old, maybe even a year, or maybe I could have been older, being with my mom in the marketplace, because South America was we have open marketplace, being in the marketplace, smelling the fruits and hearing the noise from the streets and the street vendors, etc. I remember her carrying me. I also remember me sitting on her lap as a child. And back in the days when they purchased rice, it wasn't like it was today. It had the husk. I remember seeing my mother shaking the husk in a basket, and she would take some and throw it in her mouth. I remember being a child looking up at her doing that and hearing the crunch of the rice.
Oh, yeah.
I also remember being sat on top of like a bar, and hearing the music of the jukebox. And now that I know what alcohol smells like smelling alcohol and people having fun and etc. And then my memory goes to the age of H3.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Before you go into that though, I want to deal with Jasmine.
Yeah.
Jasmine, what are you going through right now, sweetheart?
Um, Nothing really. It's nice to hear my mom. She doesn't often talk about her childhood. This is probably my first time hearing her memories of her mother, or any pleasant memories from her childhood. She doesn't have a lot of them, so it's nice to
Right.
see that she has some.
Yeah, I like that too. And that's how we want to get it started. Now, guys, I want to let you know that what she's about to talk about next is a very sensitive subject. Um, but I want you to be able to share your truth. At age 3, talk to me about what you experienced.
Um, at age 3, first of all, I would do description. Um, Back in South America, or I remember being as a child, uh, there was a lot of boarding homes, so people rented rooms. And I remember that my mother, myself, um, I guess her boyfriend or my youngest brother's father at the time, we were all in a room. But I know that I always had a habit of following my mother. Wherever she went, I would be with her. And one morning she woke up, and I woke up and I followed her. And she went to the kitchen area, which was a shared area. Uh, and I was standing at the door of the kitchen. She was by the cooker, and she called my name. She said, "Sandra," this was her accent, "come, take out the rubbish," which means the trash. And I went over and she gave me a little trash can. And I walked to the back landing and just dumped it over. It wasn't like America now where back then where you had trash, you just kind of dumped it over. And I came back and I went back and stood by the door. And when she stood there for a little while, and then um, let me describe it. There was a cooker, and the cooker had 2 burners and a kerosene bottle that was turned upside down, and the color was lavender. Now that I know colors, the color was lavender. And I remember watching my mom, and she just took the bottle out, and she threw it on herself. And then she called me. She says, "Sandra, come." But as I remember as a child, thinking that she was playing, so I was laughing, and I was kind of hiding. I wouldn't go. And then the next thing I remember is she just had erupted in flames. She lit herself on fire. And she started screaming. And these are vivid memories. And when I heard her scream, I ran to the back where at that time my brother's dad, he was sleeping, and I would, and everyone else heard the scream. And he came running to the kitchen. And I remember him rolling her. So that was now that I know, she had actually tried to commit suicide there by lighting herself on fire. And in my mind, I think she was calling me because maybe she wanted to take me with her, but I didn't go. My next memory of my mother was in a hospital. I remember being lifted by someone and looking down onto a bed and seeing tinfoil. I saw the tinfoil, but my spirit knew it was my mother. But I didn't understand why she was wrapped in tinfoil. So that was the second memory. And not needless to say, she only lived a few days after that incident. So at the age of 3, I lost my mother.
So let me ask you a question,
Mhm.
Sandra.
Hmm.
Do you remember anything prior to that day? Do you remember seeing her arguing with people? I mean, was she depressed? I know you were only 3, but what do you remember prior to
I
that day?
I don't remember anything. What I do know is that she had not too long given birth to my youngest brother. So at the time that she took her life, or she tried to do, he had to have been maybe, I maybe want to say 3 months or so. I'm not exactly sure of the age of the age that he was. So it could have been postmortem depression. Now that I know what that is in today's world, but
Yeah.
just to say, as I got older and listened to other family members, it was said that my mother had a habit from a young age of often trying to commit suicide.
Really?
Mhm.
So this is something that was she tried it often and she succeeded this time.
And she
Wow.
succeeded.
Now we're going to get into your story because you also did it as well. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. So when
Mhm.
you hear that, Jasmine, about your grandmother, how does that make you feel?
Uh, sad, you know.
Yeah.
Um, sad in a way that you watch a movie and get sad. Like I'm sad for my mother. I'm sad that she went through that. I'm sad because I can see how that family history of maybe mental illness has gone down the line. So it's just sad.
So how do we as a people deal with mental illness, or how should we deal with it?
I think now that we're in these times, we're talking back in 63, 64, in 66, and we're talking a third world country where I don't think people even recognized mental illness or dealt with it the way that we do today. So in today's world, I think we have the privilege of getting help. Speaking to a psychiatrist, going to the doctors. I don't heavily recommend medication, but sometimes you need that. But we have more help available to us, and we cannot be um, worry about judgments or
Absolutely. I
what
was just going to
someone
say
will
that.
say,
Yeah.
or how someone may perceive you, because in the end, it's all about your health. And then we
You better
also have
say it.
more than anything, learn how to pray.
Ooh,
Mhm,
there's nothing like that. Knowing how to pray.
mhm,
Oh
mhm.
gosh. Okay, so age 8. By the time so after your mom committed suicide, you went to live with her sister and her husband, your uncle.
Yes.
Talk to me
Uh,
about that because now you got a child, guys, who's lost her mother and she's being transferred from house to house. Tell us
mhm.
about this first place that you had to end up
So,
living with your aunt and uncle.
I probably wouldn't say house to house, but the way it worked back then is that if someone died, then another family member would take the child or the children.
Mhm.
So after my mom died, her elder sister, my aunt, and her husband took me in. And I would say that's when my life changed, you know. Unfortunate for me, my aunt's husband was very abusive. Um, he was abusive to her, but he was abusive to me physically, you know. Um, I remember days when he would beat me so bad, like have lay me across the bed and beat me so bad that as a child, in my mind, I had to either to forget about the pain. I either had to place my mind somewhere else until it stopped. Or sometimes I thought about, man, I should jump through the window, but it wasn't a high window, you know. And then after those whoopings, I would be have to stand under a cold shower. And I remember asking my mom as a child, why did you leave me to this? You know, I remember those conversations with myself. And a lot of times you find if you're in a household where the parents cruel, sometimes the siblings or the children may follow suit. I'll tell you an experience that still lives with me today. I remember one Christmas, waking up and walking outside in the yard, and there were bikes. Everyone, you know, because my aunt had one, two, three, four, I believe, four kids at that time, maybe five, I can't remember. But when I walked outside, there was everyone had a bicycle, brand new, and I was excited because I was looking for mine, and I didn't have a bike. All I got was a little rubber doll. And I remember sitting on the steps like this as a little girl, just feeling so sad that everyone could get a bike but me. And then I wasn't allowed to ride their bikes. But I had one cousin. His name, I'm not going to say his name, but my cousin, him and I were at the same age, I believe. And they would ride their bikes to school. And back then, we used to walk to school. So I would run across the field, run, and he would wait for me and put me on the front saddle of his bike and ride me to school so that no one could see that he was letting me ride on the bike. And then on the way home from school, he would drop me off again and ride in front of me, and I would run. And it's just those little things, you know? Um, I remember as a child, I remember being real small and watching my aunt hug and cuddle and kiss her on the kids. And I remember running over and being pushed away. And I remember just sitting or looking up, you know, and these are strong, vivid memories because this is what I have. And I know God gives us confirmation, but I was in church Sunday and my pastor gave a sermon. And at the end of it all, he sang, Yes, Jesus loves me. And he didn't know it. But that was the song that I used to sing as a little girl. When I felt real sad or I was being abused or beaten, I would sing, Yes, Jesus loves me. Because even though I didn't really know God, I just knew that song and it comforted me.
Yeah.
So that was I could go on and on, but I'll just when I write the book I can put more in, but I'll just those are the memories that I have. You know,
While you're getting yourself together, Nia has something that she wants to present to you today. Before we go any further, Nia.
mhm.
Well, like you just said, yes, Jesus loves me really touched you. So I just want to sing just a little bit of it for you.
Oh Lord.
Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me.
He loves me.
Yes, Jesus loves me. For the Bible says
every soul.
Thank you. He truly loves me, or I wouldn't be here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Nia. You know, the
Thank
other
you.
night when you and I were talking and you told me that that was your favorite song, I immediately reached out to Nia and she said, be glad to do it.
Thank you.
So that's for you. Because you know what, Sandra, I credit a lot of my shows coming back to you because you
Thank
were
you.
very encouraging to me when my mom passed and you would just kept coming back and kept coming back. And I said, wow, and that's why we're here today. I
Mhm.
give God the credit, of course, but I also credit you for this broadcast today. That's why you had to be on the first one, right? So now that
Yes.
we're there, and that song is for all of you. Anybody that has ever doubted or questioned whether God loves you, He does. We may not understand how he gets us to a certain place, but it's all necessary. Because I guarantee you, Joseph probably thought that pit was the worst thing that could happen to him. He felt like he was betrayed. And who was it in the end that had to help the very people that put him there? See what I'm saying? So it's necessary sometimes. Now you're at 80. And you've moved back to England. You've moved to England. Talk to me
Mhm.
about what that was like with your grandmother in England.
Hey, let me first describe how I got to England.
Okay.
Apparently, through my grandmother had received word or letters from people telling her that she needs to send for me because if she doesn't send for me, this is what she told me that they'll kill her. That's the word they used. Yeah, and she actually this came to uh, Guyana like on a to see for herself kind of thing. And I'm not going to go into too much details on that. But once she came and she left, I guess it was confirmed to her that yes, she needed to send for me. And I remember the day that I left Guyana. I remember for the first time having a brand new coat sent to me. My grandmother sent me a purple coat and it had 6 yellow buttons in the shape of a love heart on it. A blue smack top because this was in the 70s now. A smack top and some flared pants that were navy blue and some yellow patent leather shoes. And that's when I knew for real that I was leaving. I remember getting to the airport and for the first time in my life, seeing a white person, which was the pilot. And he came to get me to escort me on the plane. And I remember my family members calling my name and me not looking back because of
Mm.
that day. I told myself, I said, I will never come back here again, ever. That's how I felt as a child. And I took the flight to England, met my grandmother. As soon as I jumped off the plane, I tried to tell her everything that had happened to me. And sure enough, when she took me home and she took off my clothing, she said my back looked like a leopard, a zebra from the whip marks, my legs. You know what I mean? And it brought tears to her eyes.
Jesus.
So, and I have to go back to the years because I believe that I probably was 10, almost 11, not 8. But I was a little thing. I was always little. Living with my grandmother was good in the beginning because she saved me and I loved her. But But when I got to like my teens, she just changed.
Mm.
And she would be verbally abusive. Yes, she whooped me. And in my mind, I always try to be good, keep my room tidy, keep my grades up. Uh, yes, I may have been, now that I was a teenager, maybe talk back a little, but she would say things to me. And I'm gonna say this because and everyone forgive me. I remember one day my grandma, she was angry about something, and she called me a hermaphrodite, and I didn't know what that was. And I looked it up, and I found out that a hermaphrodite is someone that has been born with a male and a female part. And I couldn't understand why she did that. But when I arrived in England, my navel was huge. And what it was, I had a hernia so big that had they not have given me surgery, it could have cost my life.
Yeah.
And as anyone knows that's had hernias, for a male, it makes his scrotum, excuse me, enlarge. And for a
Right.
female, it can sometimes, excuse my language on this show, make her clitoris a little larger than normal.
Right.
And now that I'm older, I know these things. And for my grandmother to call me that, it made me like ashamed of my body parts down there for a long time, where I wouldn't want anyone to look at me, not knowing that I was normal. There was nothing wrong with me. It wasn't that huge or anything else. It was fine. But just those words for you to do that to
Right.
me. But you know what? I loved her.
That's right.
I still loved her because she saved me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah.
Even when she was abusive to me, I knew I still loved her because
Yeah.
she saved me.
Yeah. Now, when you
I
were a
had,
teenager, now that you're a teenager, you mentioned to me in your story that you attempted suicide.
yes, there
So
were
it
days.
was at this time.
It
Tell us
was during
about
the,
that.
it was in the times. Sometimes my grandmother was so abusive verbally that I didn't even want to live. Sometimes I didn't even want to come home from school, and I would take pills, aspirins. I would take bottles of aspirins and try to hope that I would die. But the only thing it would do is make me throw up. She didn't know
Yeah.
why I was, but it would just make me sick. And that's some of the things I did. I never try to hurt myself, like cut or anything like that, because I'm afraid of pain. I'm absolutely, absolutely, as much as I went through, my worst thing is pain. I'm absolutely afraid of pain. And so I tried that a couple of times. It never worked. And so I gave it up for a minute. Uh, I had an aunt, I have an aunt who I thought, loved me, but her love was, I don't know if it was a controlling love, or I was so fearful of her because she was so strong that she would scare me. I would respected her so much till I feared her.
Right.
And
Right.
and that was my grandmother's daughter. She never was abusive to me or call me names, but when she disciplined me, it was hard discipline,
Yeah.
stern hard
Yeah.
discipline.
So is that why at 18 you decided to just go ahead and get married? You were just
Yes.
like, oh, yeah.
Well, my aunt that I'm talking about, one of her thing was also believe, getting married. So at 18, I met my first husband, And we got married. So I got married at 18. Part of it, helped because I got out of my grandmother's house. I wouldn't have to
Yeah.
live under her domain anymore. And I think when him and I got married, I had issues that I didn't know I had, um,
Mm.
with my temper, um, my verbally abusive.
It's all you had seen, but it's all you had seen. That's all you
Yeah.
had been exposed to.
hmm
Yeah. So that's
So I
understandable.
think, as I look back in time,
Yeah.
I think I did a lot of things to him that were not correct.
So what kind of
But
things did you do to him?
wow, I would fight. If I didn't like something he said, I would be quick to try and hit. I was my mouth. I was verbally abusive. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't. Maybe I wasn't used to getting love, so I didn't know
Of
what love
course.
looked like.
Oh yeah. I Nothing you're saying surprises me, Sandra,
hmm
because this is all you knew.
hmm
Unfortunately, this is all you knew. How do you what are you thinking, Jasmine, as you're listening to your mom unfold what her young life was like?
Um, it just cements the reason for a lot of what my siblings and I, whatever our issues are with my mom, it's just you can see where it stems from.
Yeah.
hmm
So this
So,
helps you. Hopefully this helps you guys, your relationship, when you understand that
well,
she
my
gave you what she had. Yeah.
And
well, my
about
mom and I are probably the closest out
yes,
of
Right.
all of her children. I don't. There've only been a few times that we've maybe been on bad terms, but I think I don't think I've ever. I think I could always recognize the hurt child in her. I tell people all the time, my mom
Oh,
is my first
wow.
child. I grew up managing her and her emotions
Oh, wow.
and being the buffer between her and everybody else in the world, whether it was a family member or the kids or her man, whatever. I was always the buffer person because I just was protective of my mom.
That's
she's
a heavy
absolutely
burden, Jasmine, though. That's a heavy burden for
It's
a young lady
extremely
as
heavy.
yourself.
It uh it takes a massive toll. Um it's probably not been until the last 4 or 5 years that I've been able to put up my own boundaries and just say this is a bit too much. I have my own stuff to worry about. So it's
Of
been
course.
very heavy.
Of course. Of
and
course.
she
Oh,
absolutely
wow.
telling the truth because I depended on Jasmine. Jasmine is my firstborn. She was born in London, England, and always smart. She was reading at age
Oh, yeah.
2,
I could
etc.,
see that.
etc.
She is.
Um,
I could see that.
but as she's
So,
saying, as
Jasmine, did you see things growing up in the household with your mom that you wish you didn't see or experience?
Uh, of course, but I don't think there's anything that's necessarily indicative of her house. My sister and I weren't, we, my mom, my grandmother had custody of us, my dad's mom. So we saw my mom on weekends and holidays and special occasions. Um, so we got a woman in her 20s on the weekends after she had worked 50 hours during the week. So we grew up watching her get dressed to go out, watching her recover from going out, and then we went back home to my grandmother's house. So
Right.
there were a lot of things we probably shouldn't have seen,
Of
but
course. Right.
I also was a child in the 90s in Washington D.C. All of my friends also had families, parents that were in the streets. So I can't say that my experience was too individualized. I can say that there were no drugs or anything like that. It wasn't that type of lifestyle, but it was very chaotic, very
Mm.
violent,
Mm.
and at the same time, there was a lot of love.
Now, I want to go back to something, Sandra, because this is part of your story that really disturbed me, was about how that happened with the custody and all of this with your kids. Take us back to, because I know you said that you wanted to join the military,
Well,
but then something
um,
happened with your health. So talk to us about that whole
okay,
scenario.
well, after my first husband and I decided that our marriage wouldn't work. It's a long story. I'll go back. I'll start here. When my first husband and I started like faulting, uh, separating maybe emotionally, there's a lot of times that he would take off and go visit his mom and not take me with him. A lot of times it was Jasmine and I at home by ourselves, or she would be with me, or sometimes he would take her. I didn't know how to drive when I came to America. So if he wasn't there, I was in the house, so I would walk to the base, to the base store. And one day I walked to the base and I met this guy. He said, "Would you like a ride home?" And I said, "Sure." And he gave me a ride home. And then him and I started talking, and I ended up having an affair with him. And out of that affair, I got pregnant. So before my first husband and I broke up, um, before I had my daughter, my second daughter, I told him, I said, um, I'm pregnant, but I don't believe it's yours. And we had talked about me having an abortion. I'm speaking real. So we went to the place, but once they placed me in the machine and I saw I couldn't do it, so I walked out. So after my daughter was born, he stayed with me. He had two choices: either we break up and stay with me. He chose to stay with me. Um, Today, I recognize that to be an admirable thing, but then I didn't because I was going through my
Right.
own things. So after my daughter was born, we kind of stayed together a while. So when she was like 6 months, we decided that we were going to separate. And I said that I was going to join the military. So I went and got the books, took the ASVABs, and I was supposed to go back to take my, I'm sorry, but before I could join, we had to have someone take temporary custody of our girls because he was in the military. He couldn't do it, you know. So we, of course, called their grandparents and they came up to where we were stationed, Dover, Delaware at the time. We went to the courthouse, signed the documents. It was supposed to be 6 months for them to keep them until I got through what I needed to get through, which I thought would have been basic training. And before I could even go through that, I had a cyst that ruptured on my ovaries, and I was had emergency surgery. They had to cut me from end to end, and because of that, I couldn't go forth with joining the military.
Right.
So I started just I went to school for cosmetology. I was working at a chicken factory. I was doing all I could to like scrounge up to make sure I can get them. But when I contacted their grandparents and told them that I was ready for the girls. They said no. We've decided that we're gonna file for custody for the girls, and that started a long battle, a long custody battle. Here I was, 23 years old, in a country that I had only been in for maybe 2 years. I couldn't drive. I didn't really have a career because I was a housewife, and I didn't have anyone. Didn't have a mom I could call, or a dad, or a brother, or a sister. So I was by myself, and I felt really betrayed. But I knew that I would put up a fight because I love my girls. They were mine. That was something that God gave me, and no one in my mind had the right to try and take them from me. So we went through a custody battle from Jasmine must have been about 3. My youngest daughter was about maybe 6 to 9 months. We went through custody battle until you were like 5, Jazz.
Uh, it was probably longer than that. The last time I remember going to court, I might have been 8 or 9.
Yes.
Basically, my whole childhood, it was a tightrope. It was a tightrope because you had to be careful. Anything that you said to either my grandmother's, my dad's family, or my mom, it would go into court. Even if you just said something like, I got in trouble today, because I wanted a cookie. You go to court and it would be, oh, she's not allowed to have snacks, or they don't allow the children, to say this or that. So it was a very nasty custody battle, so nasty that it was in our local newspaper.
Oh, wow.
My grandparents did not play fair. I remember the judge of the case coming to our house for dinner several times and them getting the story straight. I remember this taking place.
What?
Didn't know that.
Oh my gosh.
I remember getting very leading questions.
Mm-hmm.
The earliest memory that I actually have is of my grandmother breaking my mother's arm. My mom trying to get me out of my mom's arms. My mom was bringing us back. I don't remember if we were late that day or what, but I remember being ripped out of my mom's arms and my mom's arms were broken.
Oh.
Um,
Oh God.
It was a very nasty, and I will also say that my father, even though we were with his parents, he was absentee. He was never around. He never called, never showed up to court. I mean, I don't remember him showing up to court. I don't remember him submitting statements or anything. He was just very happy to wash his hands of us. And when I say us, I mean everybody, his parents, my mom, the kids, and kind of move on with the military and whatever other wives and families he created. So it was very much, even after, I'll say this too, my mom wasn't the best. She made a lot of mistakes. She was very abusive, both physically and verbally, but she was there. It was not until I was in high school, my mom stayed within 15 minutes of us, lived within 15 minutes of us all of our lives until we were in high school. She made sure, even when she moved to Georgia, and we were in DC. So when she moved to Georgia, she would drive every other weekend to pick us up in her car, drive us back down to Georgia, and drive us back on Sunday after having worked all week, just to make sure that she got to see us on her days. My dad, I probably saw him 5 times until I was an adult. And we lived with his parents. He did not call us. He did not send us things. it was just like, oh, I forgot that I had
Yeah,
some other kids. So my mom wasn't the best, but she was there.
she was
Um,
there. That's right. There's
she
no manual that comes with being a parent.
not
There's
at
no
all.
manual. Yeah.
And I'll go and I say this because I know my daughter said it, I was very strict. Um, I was very maybe demanding of them, educate, get A's and just do certain things. If one got in trouble, they all got in trouble, and yes, they got whoopings, they got beatings. Um, as you know, Jazz, you're used to get the countdown. Um,
What's the countdown? What does that mean?
I don't know, but it was abuse.
she called it abuse. It was
Abuse.
beating.
It was abuse. I'm not even gonna. I'm not. I'm
She's
because
not watering that down. She's like, no, it was abuse.
And
Yeah.
you know
on
what?
that,
If she
people,
feels that way, I have to accept that because to me,
Right.
I was just raising them in a stern way.
Right.
I didn't have them all the time, but I wanted to make sure when they came to my house, there was rules and there's certain things that a certain way things need to be done. Um, they were definitely I was maybe hard, you know.
But you know what? I think this is very important
Hmm.
because you guys obviously have a difference of opinion on what it was.
Hmm.
And I think that if we can go back in our childhood, like when the one and only time that my mama whooped me was with a switch and it broke the skin, like that would be considered abuse today.
Yeah. Hmm.
But back then, that's all they knew. That's that you get a belt, you get an extension cord, and it sounds horrible now as we talk
You get
about it, but it could be very easily classified as abuse.
it can.
But I wanna go forward with this too because Sandra, you went to jail behind this whole custody battle because you didn't bring them back at the time you were supposed to. Talk to us about that.
It was one holiday. I believe it may have been Christmas or Thanksgiving. I can't remember which. And I had just given birth to my firstborn son. So I had the girls that weekend because I had just came home from the hospital and I wanted them to spend more time with me so they can be around him. So instead of me taking them home that Sunday, I said I would keep them until Monday. Their grandmother called. She was like, bring the kids home. I said, no, I'm going to keep them until Monday because I want them to spend time um, with me and their brother. So I took them back that Monday. Uh, like she said, as soon as I did that, we were like right, it seemed like we were right in court in front of the judge. And she found me in contempt of court. Here I am, just had the baby, still bleeding, excuse my language. And she gave me, I think, 2 days in jail for contempt of court. So I'm away from my newborn son. Um,
Wow. Whew.
it isn't even really a week old.
Now let's talk about these husbands, because I want to make sure we get it all in,
Mm,
right?
mm,
That's a whole different show. That's an entirely different show talking about the husbands. And I'll bring you back for that. Trust me, because we love to do relationship shows. But in your situation, there were 3 husbands, correct?
two, yeah, 3, 4, but one I married twice.
Right. I was just going to say that one you went back to.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I could ever go back, but I'm just saying. But there were 3 husbands. And briefly take us through the transition from one husband to the second to the third. Why? Because none of them really were good relationships. They were all abusive. Take us through that dynamic, Sandra.
After I started going to court, or knew that I had to do the custody with to get my girls, I had reached out to my youngest daughter's father. He was stationed in Germany, and he invited me over there so I can get paperwork and stuff like that to help with my court case, because I wanted to use that to, I thought if I kept the truth on that, that would help me get the girls. The judge will see
Mm.
that this is just something else. So I went to Germany, uh stayed with him for a little while. I wasn't comfortable being at his home, because I didn't want it to be a sex thing, you know. Excuse my language. I wanted it to just be about that, and maybe he wanted a little more at that time. So one day we were playing cards upstairs, and there was a guy there, and he asked my name and if I was okay, and I said no, I'm not. I explained my situation, and he said, well, I have my own place. If you feeling unsafe, or you don't feel comfortable, you're welcome to come and stay with me. I'm I'm still in my 20s. Yeah, I'm like 24, maybe 23. Um, so I went ahead and I told him my story, what was going on, blah blah blah, and he said, I'll help you. He said, I'll help you get an attorney. There are good attorneys over here. We can. And so that's how I met my second husband. We came over to. He attended several hearings with me in reference to the girl. And one day we were at his brother's house, and I turned to him and I said, you know what? Maybe if we got married, this will help my case. The judge will see that, I'm married and, you're in the military, blah, blah, blah. And he said, yeah, sure. We got up that day. We were in Quantico, and we just went and we got married, you know. Um, of course, I knew I didn't love him, because he asked tonight, and I was honest. I said, I don't love you, but this will help me. So we did that anyway. Um, and everything was good for a while in my mind. I was working. I started working regular. He eventually left the military. We were living in Virginia, and he would travel back and forth. I believe it was to New York for work or looking for work. And because he would be gone so long, I was by myself in the house, and I had a friend, a brother of mine. I'm not going to call his name because I don't have his permission. That needed a place to stay. So I called my husband and I said, look, there's this guy at my job that needs a place to stay, and I think that would help. Then I won't be in the house by myself, especially when the girls come over. And he agreed. So the guy moved in and rented one of our rooms because we had a townhouse. But when he came home and he saw the guy, and he saw that this was a good looking guy, he immediately thought, oh, he thought filth. You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, well, he's going to leave. And I said, no, that's not fair. I said, this guy has nowhere to go. You know, you said he can come. He's paid his. Why would I just put him out like that? That's not fair. He got mad, lost his temper. It was a big ruckus in the house. He put his hands on me. Police came, packed his stuff, came back, and he left. We had a joint bank account, him and I.
Ugh.
When I went to the bank to get
He
the money,
took all the money.
he took all the money.
Oh,
He left me $1. $1. $1.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. But thank God that the same friend, the same brother of mine, he was like, look, we can't stay here. Let's look for somewhere in DC that's cheaper and affordable. And that's how I ended up moving from Virginia and living in DC.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So that was husband number 2.
That's husband number 2. But what he did was, I was still in custody with the girls. And when I went to court, with my attorney, I looked up and I saw him. And I thought, that's strange. Why is he here? He had so much hate in his heart for me at that time that he came to court to testify against me so that I don't get custody of the kids, of my girls, talking everything that we would talk, bedroom talk. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Because I would say stuff like, if I don't win this thing with the girl, I'm gonna take my girls and I'm going back to England. I had taken them and put them on my passports because back then you could. He told the judge that she took my passport, and needless to say, I lost custody of the girls. And I remember, and the judge, she says to me, she says, I'm going to award custody of the girls to the grandparents. She said, it's not because you're an unfit mother, it's because they're more financially able to take care of them.
Oh, wow.
That the pain that I felt that day in the courtroom is very close to the pain I felt when I lost my son that passed. I just dropped. I remember screaming and crying. I couldn't breathe. I felt a part of me just die
I'm
because I
sure.
had no control.
Right.
Something I felt they were snatched from me. And I love my girls. I love my girls. I love my kids.
I believe that. I totally believe that. But I definitely want to fast forward a little bit because I want to make sure we get everything in. And you've
Absolutely.
mentioned your son, Michael.
Hmm.
Talk to me about, I know that he graduated one year and like the following year, he's gone.
He, Michael, PFC Michael Anthony Carter, he was
Mhm.
the baby of the family. He's through my third marriage. He graduated February in 2017, and prior to him graduating, he had made the decision to join the military. So he graduated, went through basic training, logistic training, etc. And while he was waiting for his logistics training, he asked could he come home to do recruiter's assistance, and he was granted that. And one morning, while he was reporting for duty, he somehow lost control of his car, hit an guardrail and also an X light, which is the black and yellow end terminals that sit at the end of the guardrail that didn't react the way it was supposed to. And it was like him hitting a brick wall at like 35 to 40 miles an hour. That's how fast the car was when he hit it. And needless to say, he died on impact. And
Jesus.
this
She
is.
should say real quick,
Mhm.
that piece on the guardrail, it's supposed to collapse. So when you hit it, it's supposed to collapse to keep from piercing through the car or injuring the driver against the guardrail. So it's supposed to be collapsible to help cushion the impact. And this
Right.
one didn't collapse, it just stayed. So when the car hit it, instead of it collapsing, it just like that.
Mhm.
Oh, Jesus.
Mhm.
And I understand they're not doing that anymore because they
Right.
banned it with your son. Yeah.
Okay. Myself and Steve Reimers, who had lost his daughter the same way. If it had
Jesus.
not been for him, I wouldn't have known that was a contributing fact to my son's death. So I thank him every day. We started
Petition.
talking to government officials about getting those guardrails
Good. Good.
repaired and replaced.
Good.
As of today, most states have replaced them, and Steve is still on the work. He battles every day. He even has a YouTube channel where he takes the time to tell people and educate them about guardrails and post terminals. Um, but in losing my son, um, it changed my life. It changed my entire life. Um, Everything that I had held on to, anger, bitterness, unforgiveness, childhood pain, abusive relationship pain, because there was several. Um, I was able to. I'll just go real quick. I was in a car after my son passed in 2018. New Year's Day of 2019, I was in a car accident that almost took my life.
Mm.
And I was forced to lay up in the bed. I was staying at my daughter's house because I couldn't move. And during that time, it was the first time I was able to sit still and really everything about my life just started going through
Yes,
my head. Everything,
I
everything,
bet.
everything.
Mm.
And
Mm.
I stood up. Actually, I heard a voice that said, "Forgive." And when I heard that, I reached over and just really started calling different people that had done me wrong and just started forgiving them. And
Mm.
then I thank God for taking my son. Like, I
Mm.
cried out and I just really thanked him for taking my son, you know? Um, and after I did that, it seemed as though I was able to move forth with my life.
Yeah.
Um, and God is so strange,
He is
because
serious. Yeah.
ended up in Indiana, was the same husband that left me $1, contacted me because he had seen me on about my accident and stuff on my son on Facebook,
Yeah.
invited me here. My daughter didn't want me to come. She said, "Mom, I don't think you should." I said, "Jasmine, I think I'll forgive. There wasn't, I'm going to be okay. I'll forgive it. I'll go see what it's all about." And I came, but that's how God uses people. But what I thought, when I came on a Wednesday, we got married. We came on a Friday, we got married on a Wednesday. We got remarried. Needless to
Wow.
say, what I thought was going to be
Still
fairy
didn't work.
turned out to be my worst nightmare. We not together.
Jeez.
God wanted me here because I was able to. Once I came here, I was really able to serve God. I got
Yeah.
baptized at Christ Temple, True Holiness Church, which I call my birthplace. And I remember when I hit the water, it was cold. But when I came up, it was warm. And I felt
Oh,
free. I
free.
felt free.
Oh, I love it. I can see it all over you.
I felt free.
Like this.
You know, this weight has been lifted off
Yeah.
me, you know.
Yes. Yes.
I'm now at and from that church, I went to the Tree of Life Missionary Baptist Church, which I'm a member of right now. And God is using me, to I volunteer, I give back. There's so
That's
much things
awesome.
that He's using me for today,
That's
and I
awesome.
give Him the glory. And when I talk about my story, and I didn't talk about everything, it's to show that the power of God, because He had His hands on me since I was a child. When
Yes,
I
he did.
He didn't love me, no one loved me. He's always loved me, because if He didn't love me, I wouldn't be here today. I have a pacemaker because I had a heart attack, and I'm still here. I died and I was revived, and I thank
Jesus.
God, the power of God. And there's no one that can tell me that there's not a God, and that anyone can change. Anything can change if you pray and if you believe and if you have a relationship with Him.
Yes. Yes. There's something that you said, and I had to write it down so I wouldn't forget. Because
Mhm.
getting old now. I have to write things.
Yeah.
But you talked about how you thanked God for taking your son.
Yes.
And the first thing I thought about is we can never conquer what we can't confront.
Yes.
Think about that.
Mhm.
Everybody watching this broadcast, at some point, you have to confront it if you
Abs-
ever want to conquer it.
Absolutely.
And that's what you did.
Hmm.
And that's why you're free, because it takes courage to be different.
Yes.
And that's being different, because the way we taught in church is you hold on to things and you let things go. And sometimes the meanings are different and they crossover. But at the end of the day, you have to confront that thing if you ever want to conquer it,
Mhm.
you know? And
It's,
I am just so glad that you shared all of that. I know we probably didn't get to
we could
everything.
get to, and this and
We
for another
another maybe we'll bring you back next week. Who knows? To finish your story. But
a lot of things
um
I didn't talk about, but it's okay. I'm glad that my daughter was here.
I
You
am
know,
too. I
let
am
me
too.
tell you,
And I know you were supposed to leave, Jasmine, but you didn't go anywhere, did you?
I
See?
I
Look,
could
it's God.
I could not have done
Yeah.
a lot of things in my life without my daughter's strength, and I know that I put a lot on her because she was the oldest.
Wow,
But I just
Jasmine.
want her to know that I love her. I'm proud of her. She's studying for her PhD.
Oh,
I love her. There's days if after I lost my son, if it wasn't for her, I could have made it. She was the strength of the family. She did everything. She's awesome. She's intelligent. She's a mother. And I love all my kids. Don't get me wrong, but Jasmine, I know that she fell in the rank of being the eldest, and I put a lot on her. Things that I talked to her about growing up that really wasn't her concern or business. She was a child, but I didn't have anyone else that I could trust and talk to but her. And it wasn't right. And I know that today, there's a lot of parents that still do that. But when we do that, we put pressure on our kids and we put them in places that they don't need to be because we're just thinking about us. And I didn't know better because I didn't have anyone to raise me. I didn't have anyone to tell me how to do stuff. I didn't have a father. I didn't know my father. Didn't have a mother. I didn't have love. And I did the best that I could. Maybe I was too hard, but I just wanted to make, I thought I was raising them right. But I love my kids. But what hurts me also is that I don't really have a relationship with my youngest daughter, because she didn't get my motherly love, and I know she's unforgiving to me for some of the things I've done, but I love her too. And my wish and my prayer is that one day she will just be thankful just to have a mother that's alive and living and just give me that honor because there's nothing worse than not having a mother, not knowing what true love is. It's the worst feeling. I still cry for my mother at nights but when I'm by myself when I'm 50, almost 60 in May. And there's days when I think about my mom and I start crying. No one knows that. It's something that I do. I've been crying for her since I was a little girl, and I still cry for her.
wow. Jasmine, how do you that's a lot, right? What are you feeling right now, mama? Cuz your mom is pouring her heart out right now, and um what would you like to say to her right now before we end our
Um,
broadcast?
she knows I love her. I'm always thankful for her. Um, a lot of who I am, I wouldn't be without her, good and bad. But she already knows this. She knows that I love her. She knows that I'm here. Um, I also hope that my sister will come around, but she may not. So when things happen, you can only control yourself and your own emotions, reactions, and behavior. So you have to find a way to live with the consequences of everybody's actions, not just your own, but the things that everybody chooses to do and say. This is the fallout. So there's no way that our family story would have a Disney happy ending. We've just had too much trauma. But the only thing that you can do is love the people that are there that love
Right.
you and
Right.
hope that the others come around. And if they don't, you take that up with God at the pearly gates. There's, you know,
Well, I'm going to believe and pray that the prayers of the righteous availeth much.
Anything.
And I'm going to believe that with God, all things are possible. And I'm going to pray for this family, that your sister comes around and that she comes on the show, because we can show right here live what forgiveness really looks like. But I want Nia to take us out. Y'all know how we have to do it in the church. Did nobody throw that finger today?
Thank
So
you,
that
God.
means that all minds are satisfied. But I want you to take us out, Nia. Guys, listen, I want to thank all of you so much. I'm full. This was a great comeback. If I was going to come back, this was the perfect show. You guys were the perfect group. And Nia, your music, I think I just want to have you on every show, just sitting over there in the corner. And every time we need a song, I can just call on Minister Nia to give us a word. Because I know you're already thinking of a song that you can lead us out with. But I definitely want you to do that. For those of you that are watching from home, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. You guys got to share this broadcast, because there's been some good singing on here today. You know, when you hear somebody like Nia singing, you can't even speak correctly anymore. You got to say singing. You can't even say singing, right? She didn't sing today. I sing in the shower. No, what she did today was sing. This girl sang her heart out, didn't she, Jasmine?
yes,
Right?
she
Yes, she did. So I want you to give us something, Nia, to go home with, and something to leave on the hearts of our viewers for the week, so that we can have something to look forward to.
I know I've been changed.
Hallelujah.
Oh, I know I've been changed.
Hallelujah.
You know that I know I've been changed. You know the angels in heaven done sign my name.
Oh, girl, that was, and that's another one of my favorite songs. Oh my God, Nia, I tell you, I am just full tonight, guys. That was beautiful. You are a rising star. And I'm telling you, I can see you at the finish line. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to say this on the Ella Johnson Show. You are not going to just make it, but you're going to take a lot of people with you.
Absolutely.
Because people are going to want to follow you, Nia. They want to be around this excellence. You sing with excellence, you act with excellence, and you walk in excellence. And
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, you are the light that the world needs. And Sandra, listen, you keep telling a story, you keep healing, you keep loving on your daughter. Jasmine, continue to be a support, but I really want to see you just kind of woosah and
Yes,
go
good. You
on
know, they-
vacation somewhere. Come to
Thank you.
Florida. Let's go to Daytona Beach or something.
Absolutely.
And listen, well, I'm not going out there as long as the sun is out. Now I have to keep it real. I'm still that girl that don't go out until the sun goes down. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We'll sit in the hotel and watch the waves till that sun go out. Now, like after 6, then we'll go sit on the beach. But I want to meet you. I feel like I want to meet you. I want to hug you, Jasmine. I want to love on you, and I want to do something for you so you can finally just take a break. God's got your mom now, right?
And just lastly,
yes,
through my son's foundation, PFC Michael Anthony Carter Jr., I have started a scholar. We, the family, have a scholarship in honor of his name. Jazz, you want to talk about it?
So the scholarship, it's hard to talk about. We just wanted to be able to give back to people that are going to school for the service industry. If you're trying to be an officer, paramedic, a nurse, teacher, any type of community service person, because that's what my brother was big on. The details are on our website. Closer to the time that we open in June, the application will come open. But you can head to the website to get all the information about the different amounts that will be given. There will be three tiered. It's a tiered scholarship.
$500, $300, and $200.
Yes.
And that's at pfccarterjr.org. All the information will be on there. And July 25th will be the day to apply. And February 7th, which is the day that he passed, will be the day that the awards will be given out.
And on the screen, guys, this is the website right here, pfccarterjr.org. So you guys definitely go over.
Which is also a 501c1 profit organization. So
yes.
Make donations in order to do other things that the foundation does.
Yeah, we made a donation today from the Ella Johnson Show. So blessings to you guys. I love what you're doing. Please let me know how I can assist. Let me know what I can do to assist you guys and any of you on the show. I'm going to see you in April, Nia, but you will definitely be back before I go to Texas, because we're going to bring all of you guys back until we actually go to Texas for this event. So you will be back before we go to Texas. I can guarantee you that. All right. Okay. Well, guys, listen, it has been a real show today. I am so excited. I love you guys. And I know we went a little bit longer, but I don't, that's the thing I love about having my own thing. Nobody tells me what time to get off. I love it. So you guys have a great evening. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your Saturday night. It's still early. You guys can go out to dinner and do all the fun things you want to do. But I'll see you next time right here on the Ella Johnson Show. You guys sit tight so we could chat a little bit. But I have to do my little outro and get out of here. But I'll see you guys next time right here on the Ella Johnson Show. Have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. We'll see you next time.
We are supporters of the Ella Johnson Show. We live in South Korea. We have been watching Ella Johnson Show for like a year now. And we love her show. Her show is very inspirational, motivational, and educational.
If you would like to be a guest on the Ella Johnson Show, send an email to theellajohnsonshow@gmail.com or send a text message to 407-334-6997.
We love Ella Johnson Show.